The Supergirl TV show has come out, and I loved the second season. The first season was a little lackluster. But did you know that Supergirl Rebirth has her fighting against her father, the Cyborg Superman? Yeah, there's two different versions of Cyborg Superman in the DC Rebirth. We have Hank Henshaw, the classic who was brought back, and we have Zor-El, her father. This is the first 6 issues of Supergirl Rebirth in which she met up with her father once again, and he tried to revive Krypton. I hope you guys enjoy. Kara Zor-El was one of the first to leave her doomed world, and unknown to her, one of the last. She landed on alien soil and became Supergirl. She also became known as Kara Danvers in National City. Staying with her parents, Eliza and Jeremy Danvers, Kara learned how to live life as a normal human being, learning to drive, going to school, and even being the outcast that no one talks about. And even though Kara isn't sitting with her peers, she can still hear them. She can hear everything. And while at school, she can even hear the chain that is being robbed across town. It only takes seconds for Kara to fly out and appear before the robbers and even melt their guns with her heat vision in the process. As the leader gets ready to punch her, she blows, creating a small ice cloud in which the robber breaks his own hand punching. Kara then asks the man why he would even threaten someone when she is just within earshot of him. It was never going to work out, why even do it? And a female voice says, maybe she should leave the questions to someone more qualified. Kat Grant of the Daily Planet steps forward, stating that she had this completely under control until you showed up. Clearly the target of these people was me. The man says, not likely, and Kat pats him, stating, shush. I protected my data against an aggressive viral firewall. But while Kat goes on, Kara receives a transmission from the director Cameron Chase telling her that she needs to report in now. A short while later, the Department of Extra Normal Operations, Chase tells Kara that she appeared in uniform without clearance. And while doing so, she learned something from the Sunstone. The Kryptonian way is self-destructive. Kryptonians thought of themselves as superior, and then they turned on each other. Kara tries to defend her uncle and father, the men who tried to save Krypton before it was destroyed. But Chase says, yeah, your father did save you, but he still refused to accept that their people's way is what drove Krypton into ruins. My job here at the DEO is to monitor superhuman activity and prevent threats to the general public. Untrained Kryptonian abilities are a liability. To be a hero, you need to learn how to not be a threat. And she stops her, asking, what about Superman? He doesn't have someone always looking over his shoulder. And Chase tells her, yeah, he's also had years to learn Earth. You've had months. In return for providing you with the identity of Kara Danvers, activity as Supergirl must be authorized by me or your parents. Kara says she heard people in danger, and Chase tells her, flying off without proper support could lead to more people getting hurt than saving them. What would your cousin Superman think about that? Later that night, Kara heads to the only place where she knows that she is welcome, the Fortress of Solitude. As she walks in, she looks off into the tundra, wondering maybe she should just stay here. This is as close to Argo as it'll ever get for her. But then she hears a voice telling her that they told her that they would meet her on Earth. Their city dead, their people extinct, Argo City lives, and they can take her there. She spins back around, and she sees Cyborg Superman, and he tells her,
just take my hand. Let your father show you the way home.
She tells him, stop. I'm not stupid, you can't be my father. Zor-El died when Krypton exploded, and I've been fighting you here where you've tried to kill me multiple times. Zor-El says that he was not himself then, but now he is, and he's come to help his daughter. The Sunstone holds the final census of Argo City, and with it he can give her what she wants. He can bring back Argo City. She grabs Zor-El by the shoulder, telling him to just stop, and as she does, Zor-El's defenses activate, shocking her. He then knocks her away, telling her,
you must stay back for me. I must finish my work, and it's for your own good.
She skips along the floor and she gets back up, stating, I'm the one who gets to decide that. She grabs a spaceship, throwing it at him, and Zor-El blasts it away, so she charges in. Zor-El says,
I know you're unhappy here. I heard you whispering at night with my one good Kryptonian ear. You must escape these human primitives.
She punches through Zor-El's arms, telling him, no one can bring back Argo, and you are not my father. His body lands on the ground, and as she scans it, she sees the Sunstone in his chest, and it's transmitting something. What is he doing? A beam of light shoots out of his chest, and he says,
what is needed? With it, I can recreate our world down to the finest detail. However, it is still incomplete. Argo is not yet perfect for you.
Suddenly, Zor-El's body begins to burn up, and then it explodes after his transmission. She kneels down, stating, of course, it was just another lie, another drone. It cannot be my father. After all of the times that we fought, it couldn't be. The next day at the National City Technical High School, Kat Grant stands before the students, telling them that she is here to offer someone a great opportunity to be on her newest adventure, Catco Worldwide Media. In her profession, she has seen the world at its worst, and she will do her best to change that with the Young Innovators program. As for the one person who can answer her question, they may join her in the Young Innovators. And the question is, what is Catco's biggest obstacle for success? The auditorium falls silent, and Kara stands up stating that she would like to, but before she can finish, another student by the name of Ben Rubel jumps up stating, I got it! The biggest obstacle to Catco's success is Cat Grant. Cat pauses for a moment and then tells Ben, welcome to Catco. But that's not where the story of Cat and Kara ended. Because Cat cornered her in the middle of the hallway, she recognized her from a physics prize, and she wanted her to come to the building to get a proper interview. When Kara arrived for the interview, Cat just started flooding her with questions, confusing Kara, but somehow she got the job. As Cat explained, she can read body language and she knows everything she needs to know about Kara. So she went back home that evening where Eliza asked her how the interview went, and Kara just went upstairs where she floated over her bed until she felt something in her hand. And she asked, what is that? And Zor-El tells her it's shrapnel from their last meeting.
Though it's microscopic, it'll allow them to communicate. Let her see his journey with his eye. She will have no choice but to believe him afterwards.
Kara's vision begins to change to that of Zor-El's point of view, and he explains that
That after the explosion, he tried to save Argo and failed. And with no other choice, he submitted himself to Brainiac. With Brainiac's technology, he can preserve Argo. But he failed again, becoming nothing more than a puppet with no memory. The cyborg Superman. After coming to Earth and seeing her, something happened, and he started to remember everything. While floating in space, his ghost programming began to take over, and he fought back against it. And he won.
And as he looks at a piece of the debris floating in space, he remembered his name.
Zor-El. Now you can see what Argo is and what it's become. The exile is over. Come home to me and your mother.
So Kara decides that it would be best to see what Zor-El is trying to do, especially since he mentioned her mother Allura is with him. But of course, like any worried parent, Eliza figured that she couldn't let Kara go do this alone. The two of them flew off through space, and just as they reached the outer orbit of Saturn, Kara sees it. Argo City, it lives. Kara jets down to the city, and Zor-El tells her, welcome back home. She says, no, this city is made of engines. What is going on, father? Zor-El lands next to her, telling her, you've called me father. And Kara tells him, I have no choice but to. Those memories I saw were yours, but this doesn't mean that I trust you yet. She looks around and she sees more synthetic people, and Zor-El says,
these are the citizens of Argo. The once red kryptonite that poisoned our city is now safely fueling our engine. Among the citizens' bodies that were revived, your mother also came back.
Zor-El then stands with Allura, stating that,
I've brought them all back. Death could not stop me. Finally, we have a home to return to, Kara. Is this not what you wanted? Your city returned!
She shouts, asking, you're saving them? They're all dead. This couldn't have worked. What are they?
Zor-El says that with the Sunstone, I was able to upload all the personal details into their CPUs. They have the bodies and the minds, but they lack only the spark of life, though not for long.
And Kara asks how, and Zor-El tells her,
I've done it. Our home is reborn. Doesn't matter how.
She floats over to Allura, looking at her face, stating, I've missed you so much, but this is not you. This is just a body held up by metal. It's a nightmare. She then blows a powerful gust, lifting Zor-El into the sky. And then she focuses her heat vision, blasting Zor-El up into Saturn. Elsewhere, Eliza stands on Argo, asking, where did Kara go? All of these buildings, they are retrofitted with the new technology, the same as Zor-El's. And back on Saturn, Kara crashes down on the planet side, and Zor-El asks,
where is your gratitude?
Kara shouts that it's right here, but before she can attack, Zor-El blasts her away, stating,
I did what no one else could.
Her body is shot back into space and down onto Argo, and Kara yells, this isn't the future! Look at these people's eyes! They are not our people! They're monsters! The two of them rocket at each other, colliding, creating an explosion of power. And as they struggle, Kara tells Zor-El, this ends with me right now. And Zor-El tells her,
this is but a mere distraction.
Mechanical arms reach up, grabbing onto Kara, and they start to pull her back down to the ground. All she can do is scream that these things that he created aren't real. The mechanical arms start to close around Kara, trapping her in place, and Zor-El tells her,
this is what you wanted. I've given you what the Earth could not. I expected you to be happy. But once the Odic force is provided, these people will breathe life. The raw ore of life is rare, and it can only be refined from certain organic species.
As he goes on, Kara notices something in the corner of his eye, and then he sees Allura walking up with Eliza's lifeless body. Kara yells, you can't do this! And Zor-El tells her,
this woman is not your mother. She is a poor imitation, the best that Earth could offer you.
Kara shouts that there's no way that they can sacrifice one person to save another, and Zor-El tells her,
yes, because they are not your people. Zor-El was right, in a way. Earth will be our salvation, but the humans will not be our saviors. They will be our sacrifices.
All of the mindless citizens begin to fly up into the sky, and Kara yells, you can't do this! I want them back, but not like this! And Zor-El soon follows the group, stating,
this is the only way. Now stay with your mother. This will all be over soon.
A short while later, back on Earth, Zor-El arrives with his drones and immediately begins to harvest. Chase calls Jeremiah, telling him, "We need all hands on deck. If you look outside, we have metal people flying around in the sky." Chase then contacts Dr. Veritas and explains the situation and asks if her patients, mainly Laron, are secure. Veritas says that her lab is 5 miles underground. Subjects are secure, including their alien Wolfman. But she should probably go deal with the aliens. Chase looks up to see a drone coming her way and says, "Yeah, about that, where's Supergirl?" Up at Argo, Kara listens to Eliza's heartbeat slowing down and tells Allura that they need to do something or her friend is going to die. Allura asks, "Why are you worrying so much? These people are humans, they are not." And Kara shouts, "Please, Eliza doesn't have long. You sent me to Earth, why attack it?" Allura says, "Earth was never permanent. You don't belong there. They're imposters in our lives. So between helping an alien race and helping our daughter, I will choose my daughter." Kara then asks, "Imposters? Fraud? Your traitorous cousin? Are those really your words? Those sound more like fathers. Eliza came here because she put my needs over her own, to protect me from my own parents. Zor-El isn't listening to what I want, he's telling me what I want. But Allura always listened. That's why I believe in you." Allura falls silent, and then as Eliza mutters, "Don't hurt her," she walks over. Kara shouts for her not to touch her, and as Allura kneels down, there's a spark. She stands back up, her words crackling, stating, "Sorry, I couldn't see through Zor-El's programming. Eliza yet lives." Eliza gets back up, telling them, "We need to hurry. We have to get her out of here." And Kara says, "I can hear everyone on Earth screaming. I can also hear the machine." Kara lets out a scream at a specific frequency. Instantly, the device holding her begins to short out. Eliza asks, "So what was that?" And Kara smiles, stating, "I flooded the air with the same frequency as the adaptive cells used to coordinate countermeasures. Basically, I deafened the cells. Now, they won't be able to adapt to me. So step back for the next part of this plan." She then throws her arms out, breaking through the device, stating, "That is science that even my father could appreciate." Kara runs over to Allura's body and says that Zor-El thinks he's helping Argo, but all he is doing is tainting its memory. She missed her mother, but Allura deserves to rest. Back on Earth, Jeremiah tries to fight off the drones, telling Chase that everything that these things touch bring death. Zor-El tells him,
You are wrong. The touch of my people brings life, just not to you.
Meanwhile, in the downtown area, Chase and the other agents begin to hold the line when one of the drones cuts through the cars in their direction. Everyone braces for the hit, but the car stops. And as they look up, they see Kara holding it, stating, "I'm sorry I'm late. What did I miss?" Chase shouts, "Killer robots! The ones right behind you!" And Kara turns around, throwing the car at the drone, and as the drone catches it, she flies over, folding the car onto him, stating, "You don't need to worry about him." Chase then gets back up, stating that these things are killing us with a touch. They're Kryptonian. Care to elaborate on the subject? And Kara tells her, "It's my father. He's obsessed with restoring Argo City, and his technology let him raise Argo's deceased." Chase says, "Well, it's perfect timing. I can show him why he's wrong. Not that I'm loving the odds, though." Over at the Catco building, the drones begin to break in, and one grabs Ben, tossing him out the window. He screams for help, but before he can get far, Kara swoops in, grabbing him. As they land, he asks, "How did you?" And she says, "I've got a good ear, and I still think the others need help." Up in the offices, Kat shouts that she should be the one in front. When she said that they owed Catco their lives, it was a metaphor. Seconds later, Kara flies in, punching the drone out of the building. And Kat says, "Good, my insurance ached at the thought of what would happen next." Kara tells Kat that she has something that she needs her to do. Consider it a favor. She needs Catco to input the Kryptonian code into their servers, only about a few quadrillion lines. Kat says, "You do know that you'll die of old age before we can get that to happen, right?" And Kara flies around the room, stating, "There. In the time it took for you to blink, I did it. Now here's the plan." Back outside, Zor-El corners Jeremiah, hitting him with the lasers, when suddenly the lasers bounce off. As the smoke clears, Kara stands in front of Jeremiah, telling Zor-El, "Get the hell away from my dad." And Zor-El asks,
Why are you here? I'm doing this all for you. This is the cost of what is needed to have it happen.
and Kara tells him that the cost is too high. You are not going to sacrifice all of the humans for the Kryptonians. And Zor-El stops, and his look turns to anger, and he says,
Only a child would say that.
Kara flies up, punching Zor-El, and just as he does, Zor-El flies back, creating another explosion as they clash. The glass in the nearby buildings begin to shatter, and the shards fall down towards the people. She quickly flies through, creating a whirlwind to catch it, and then uses it to blast it into Zor-El. He gets back up, stating that
He doesn't need her to care. He doesn't need her to thank him. All he needs is for her to look up.
Suddenly, a shadow appears over the city, and as Kara looks up, she sees Argo floating right above. Kara looks back at Zor-El and tells him that he turned their people into machines that will kill to power their own hearts. Turned their city into a warship. He has failed Krypton and Argo. And Zor-El shouts,
You are wrong. My work is a rescue mission. Saving Argo is saving Krypton. This is our world.
Kara clenches her fist, stating, I tried listening. I tried to understand. I begged you not to do this, but I'm done asking. She flies up, punching into Zor-El with such force that his body shoots into the sky, into Argo's base, and out its top. Zor-El manages to catch himself, and he grabs one of the fighter jets passing by, and he whips it at Kara. The pilot shouts that he's going to hit the ground, and then he stops when Kara catches him, and he says that she caught him? Kara tells him, of course, what else was she gonna do? And just as she finishes saying that, Zor-El rockets down, slamming into her. Zor-El knocks Kara down, and his arm begins to change into a cannon, and he shouts,
"This was your dream!"
She flies back up, grabbing onto the cannon, using her heat vision to counter Zor-El, telling him, no, this was your dream, and I'm stopping it. His arm explodes, pushing the two of them back, and as Kara lands, Zor-El tells her
that there is an old story of how the goddess gave Jordan-E an impossible choice. Kill his son and spare the city, or save him and let the city burn. Jordan-E chose his people and sacrificed his son. But it is time that I make the same choice, and right now I choose my people.
Zor-El then asks,
did you really think that you came here to help these people? To inspire them?
And Kara doesn't answer at first, and then listens to all of the people helping each other, and she says, no, I'm not here to inspire them, they inspire each other. Suddenly, over the airwaves, a signal goes out ringing from Catco to everyone's cell phone. The frequency starts to play, and it begins to short out the drones, and as the sound reaches Zor-El, it shorts him out as well. He says,
I can't move, what did you do?
And Kara tells him that she overloaded his technology the same way that she escaped his prison. His system will not respond to his commands now. They could have worked together to save Argo. She could have even helped him. But he never wanted that, did he? And for that, she is sorry. While Kara hugs Zor-El, Argo's systems begin to fall into the ocean. And the next day, Kara returns to Catco's offices as Kara Danvers, where she gets the job to work with Cat Grant and Ben. NASA begins to look into the remains of Argo City with Dr. Henshaw leading the divers. And Kara begins to feel more at home with her new parents Eliza and Jeremiah. Weeks later, Dr. Veritas reports to Chase that there is a breakthrough on Lauron, and she would like her to come over right away. She tells her she's there and notifies Supergirl as well, and Veritas says that there is no need. Supergirl is already there, and Kara is looking up at the test tube that contains Zor-El, and she says that no matter what he's done, she'll help. She won't give up on him. And there you have it. I am personally a fan of New 52 Supergirl, and I really dislike how they treated her towards the ending, where they just tried to mix up her storyline and boost the sales, and I just wasn't a fan of that. But this new one's okay. It's not what I was hoping for, but it's okay. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Supergirl Rebirth versus the New 52 version, or even the classic ones. Which of these Supergirls is your favorite? And also, give this video a like if you want more Supergirl. This is one of those obscure superheroes that we may not continue if you guys don't enjoy the video. So let me know if you did, so we can continue it if you want it. Also, what did you think about Season 2 of Supergirl and Season 3? Put all that down below. I will go through and read that on my off time. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on DC Rebirth, Doomsday Clock, Marvel Legacy, and DC Metal, whatever's going on in your favorite comic books. And I'm Benny. I'll see you next time right here.